Hi, my name is Valerie. Thank you for joining me today for story time. Today we're going to be reading a book that's good for children of all ages, really. Little kids would like this book as well as young readers. So if you think your child would like this story, then grab them and let's go. Today's story is Caps for Sale by Esphyr Slobodkina. I think I'm saying her name right. It's a long name, but this is a great book. It's a classic book. You can see up here it was on Reading Rainbow, and that's a show that used to be on years ago. This was a book that my mother read to me when I was a little girl, so you know it's been around a long time. But that means it's just that much more loved and liked by kids everywhere. So here's our story. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. So there he is, standing here with his caps all lined up on his head. That's a lot of caps. This story was a favorite of my little boy, but he's not so little anymore. But he has good memories of this story. I hope you like it. He walked up and down the streets holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street, he walked down the street, calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he. And he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. Can you imagine walking with all of that piled on your head? How slow do you think you have to walk to keep it from falling? Have you ever tried to walk with something on top of your head? You should try it after our story. Maybe put a book on your head and see if you can keep it from falling. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, thought he, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. Can you see all the caps? I wonder if anyone ever tried to buy his checked cap from him. He only had one of those, remember? They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. And I should show you, there's the sun smiling down on him as he takes his nap. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. Oh, he's stretching. Is that what you do after your nap time? Do you stretch? Feels good to stretch. But before standing up, he felt with his head to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. Oh dear, he's been robbed. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree. What do you think he saw? What do you think's in that tree? You think birds have his hats? Can you see? On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Monkeys took his caps right off his head. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. Why not? Can't hurt. "You monkeys, you," he said. shaking a finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Is that what a monkey says?" This made the peddler angry. So he shook both his hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, "We're not getting anywhere, are we?" Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Uh-oh." By this time, that peddler was really very, very angry, so he stamped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." See him jumping? But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, what'd they say? Say it with me. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. He was fed up with those monkeys. But then, each monkey pulled off his cap. They're taking it off their heads. And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps too, came flying down out of the tree. There they go. Down out of the tree. Woo! So, wow, the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. See how he's sorting them out in the colors first? He's getting them all lined up. Do you do that when you go to clean your room or pick up your toys or your blocks? Do you sort the colors ever? That might be a fun way to do it sometime. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" The end. It says the end right there. So he's going to go about his day, and I bet he's really careful where he takes a nap next time to make sure there are no monkeys in the tree that can steal his caps. I hope you enjoyed that story. It is one of my favorites, and as I already told you, my little boy, my youngest, really loves it. Even now, he wouldn't mind reading this story. That's how much he enjoys it, so I hope you did too. Thank you so much for joining me today for Story Time. You can find this book at your library, and you can also find it online at lots of different websites that sell books. Anyway, thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.